It's Monday. It's the first Monday in October. I cannot believe we are in October. It is going by so fast. So fast. Okay. Okay, so the second week in October, I have so much going on. I've been a little bit overwhelmed with all of the stuff I have going on actually that I've been really trying to make the list, prioritize everything, and I've been in DEFCON 5 mode, honestly. But I forgot that I have to we had all those weird people last week and I was going to figure out anyways, okay. So the quote for this week is by Amelia Barr, and it is always the simple that produces the marvelous. And I think that is so true when we think about, oh, sorry. Jeez. Well, you can't help that on a live thing, right? So the quote is by Amelia Barr, and it is always the simple things that produce the marvelous. And I think that is true. I think that um, I always appreciate the little things, the little moments in my day. And I do appreciate the big things, but this last Saturday was the baby shower for our second grandchild that is being born, and he's due in December. His name is Raiden, and um, so my son and daughter-in-law asked me to do all of the food for the baby shower. Um, I like to cook a lot and I want to be helpful. I want to do, whatever they would want me to do. And I want to do something that I know that I won't fail at. Like I don't want, we helped with some of the decorations and stuff, but sometimes, when people have a vision for what they want, I just don't want to be in charge of like letting anybody down. So, um, we did all the food. Well, the day or a couple days before, my son um, called me and asked if I needed help, and I started thinking I think I'm going to need help because there was 50 people for the baby shower, and I was doing 50 people had RSVP'd, and we were doing a taco bar, and then we had a like charcuterie board with all of the kind of dessert stuff with melted caramel, and then skewer so that you could have the melted caramel over all of these like little elements and stuff, and some mulled cider, and just doing all of the chopping and prepping and getting all of that stuff ready for that. I thought it's going to be so much prep work, and I'm just what, it might be good for me to have help. And two of my boys came and helped me get everything ready for that. And it was such a fun day because, when they left home, we lived in Central Washington and they moved over to this side of the state. And really, I only saw them for family functions and or like if you do see them when your kids live out of town, you might like go to dinner or you have a day or a function and everybody is there and you just don't get like one-on-one time with them anymore because either there's spouses or it's a function or something. So it's kind of fun when I have those little moments with them and I get to hear them talk and just I don't know, spend that time. And it's funny too because I don't we were coming into the barn for something. I don't know what if I was showing them something or we were getting something or whatever, and they're like, "Mom, it's just so pink in here." And then one of them says it even smells pink in here, because I have my wax going. And anyway, they like to make fun of me, and I thought that was pretty funny that, he's like, "Geez, it even smells pink." I'm like, "What does pink smell like?" So, but the shower went off great. It was oh, sorry. Um, Friday when they came over to do all of the chopping and prepping and it was like raining, it was gray, it wasn't a great day. We were all kind of worried about what it would be like on the shower day because it would totally be easier if we could have all of the tables outside. And it turned out to be a really beautiful fall day. It was warm, the sun was out, it was shining, we had the tables out, and we had it at my other son's in-laws house. They're a beautiful family and so generous to let us use their space because they really have a beautiful yard and a nice kitchen and all of the things. And they had fresh cut flowers from their garden because they were just perfect for the vases on the tables. And everything just worked out really beautifully. And so those simple moments throughout the course of that, and all of the blessings that they um, were able to receive through the shower and all of that. So it was just really good. So good morning, Lynn. Um, so on top of that, then it's kind of exhausting. Rob and I came home and I did a little bit of computer work and worked in the studio, but Rob really took most of Saturday off. And um but I did manage to get the garage door painted and we are putting everything back where it goes after you clear everything from the house. Rob had to take all the gutters off so things could be painted and all of that. So we're slowly trying to get everything put back into place and get those finishing touches done. He hung some shutters on the other side of the house to finish that. And we're getting, everything kind of put back away. But he had, he, my husband has a lot of great talents, but he's on the spectrum, and part of his spectrum disorder is I don't know what they call it now, but maybe ADHD or whatever, ADD. Anyways, he is really messy. He doesn't pick up after himself, and I mean I call him Rob the Slob in the best of ways, but he will be working on something and you can totally see where he's been working because he doesn't pick up his tools, and then he gets sidetracked and he perseverates on some other thing, and then like so he has all of these stations all over the place and I have to kind of keep him focused to finish something because he gets, and especially if like he gets excited about something, if it's he can learn something in the process. So if it's something that, oh, I want to figure out how to do this, then he'll perseverate on that one thing and then until he gets bored. And then when he's no longer interested in it, then he moves on to something else, but he'll leave that in disarray. And it totally drives me bonkers because I'm a person that like starts it and finishes it. And um, especially when it's like concerning my house, because, we can't, um, get this move into this area until it's done, and you need to do this section until you can do this section and this, and so I'm constantly having to keep him on track. But he finished the garage. That was his last winter's project, and it was clean and organized and nice. And through the course of the summer, he has like dumping grounds everywhere, tools everywhere, electrical parts everywhere, like, because he's working and then he just kind of shoves everything in. And so I told him I've had enough of the garage. So we spent yesterday after church cleaning out the garage and getting everything organized and things put where they're supposed to be and whatever. And I really didn't want to take time to do that, but it's affecting my everyday life because I have to be in there so often. So I just had to take that little bit of time to go in there and get that done, because it will mess with my sanity. And so we got everything sort of worked out so he can finish the mudroom, but he has to get the outside stuff done before he can work on the mudroom. But he kind of wants to work on the mudroom right now, which I constantly have to try to channel his, and prioritize his work list, because, snow is coming. So there's certain things that have to be done before the snow comes. And he knows that, but his mind wants to work on what it's excited about working on right now. And so that is how it goes. And, he's very talented. He's very smart. He knows how to do a lot of things, and I'm happy and blessed for that. But he has to have me behind him to kind of channel that, organize him, and get him in order. And that's okay sometimes, but other times it's, you know, I'm so busy right now that I get a little frustrated sometimes, but I can't take it out on him because I know how he is. We've been together all of these years, that I can't, I just know that this is part of the package deal. And in order to get the best out of him and us, that there are certain things that you have to do, right? I mean, you can't. So I don't like resent him or, get upset in that way. I have to okay, this is how it is. And you just kind of move on and guide and direct. Uh so we had the baby shower, cleaned out the garage, then I came in and worked last night trying to finish some of my samples, get things quilted, and so I'm prepping a lot of videos, and I have to get some blogging done, some newsletters written, and trying to finish up all of those market things. And so next week it's another busy week. I'm teaching at the local quilt show, and then the last week is market, and then I'll be in Ohio. So I'll keep you all posted on sort of all of those workings and what's going on during that. And Lynn says, "Oh my gosh, Rob sounds like my son." Yeah, I think a lot of people, we were kind of having this discussion at the baby shower, because one of our kids, Carl, he's also on the spectrum. They used to call it Asperger's, but they changed the terms down. It's spectrum disorder, and we were all kind of talking about that. And but how they sort of have different issues, and maybe one is further on the spectrum than the other, or whatever, between my husband and my son. But that really, when my husband was young, they didn't have, or, maybe they had the spectrum disorder, but they didn't label him and nobody really talked about that kind of stuff. So, but, and he really didn't get his label until we were adults and married, and we were getting help for our son, basically. And then we realized, the the psychologist told Rob, well, you are also on the spectrum. And he didn't really believe that until he started reading up on it. And then he was like, oh my gosh, I realized that all of these things that I thought I was different or wrong about me, or, he's like, I am things that people have been pointing out my whole life. And, he went through this whole discovery period, where he realized that he was on the spectrum and that this is why, and, all of those things. When we realized our son was, having those sort of characteristics, we decided not to tell him because we didn't want him to feel different, and we didn't think that it was, really a hindrance. I mean, obviously there were some social things and a few things, but we thought we don't want him to think that, we didn't want to label him, and we didn't want to make him feel bad or anything. And then he came to us because we had some books, and he, you know, it was really a funny thing because he was so serious, and he said, Mom, Dad, we need to have a meeting. I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh, okay, and he just never really was like that. And he sat us down on the couch, and he was so nervous. And, I thought, gosh, something terrible must have happened because he really is, going to give us upsetting news. I could tell that he was very nervous about everything. And his brothers and sisters were sitting on the table kind of behind us and eating their cereal or lunch or something. And I had this book called All Cats Have Asperger's, and I just had it in with the kids' books. And, I didn't, you know, it wasn't anything. I thought it was interesting at the time, but he read that and he was like, I have all of these things. And he perseverated on that for some time, and then he thought he needed to break the news to us that he had Asperger's. So he brings this book up and he says, I have to tell you that I have Asperger's. I'm just like this cat. And he's going through the book and he's explaining everything to us. And as he's turning the page and reading it, his brother is at the table. He's like, yep, that's you. And then the other brother would say, yep, that's him, and we were just sitting there, and and it was funny because and then, after he gets through his speech of, he's telling us, I said, well, we know already, we just didn't tell you because we didn't want you to feel bad. And he said, oh, thank God. And he's like he's like, I knew there was always something different about me, but I didn't know what it was. And he's like, and me and my friends have been talking about this, and we all know that we're all different, and we were talking under the tree about all of our differences. And then, he found that book and he realized, what it was. And in that moment, I kind of felt bad that we didn't say something to him. But in the end, we I think it all worked out. He was able to come to the realization himself, and he didn't feel bad that he had it. And we all, just kind of worked with him, on in so many ways to make him function in society, basically, learning how to make eye contact, and all of the things that we kind of had to work on him with, his social cues and whatnot. And we were talking over at the shower about how it was good that he had three brothers, um, because they, pulled him out of his shell all of the time and challenged him, and he had to be social all of the time even when he didn't want to be because of them. And it really worked out. So he had he not been, one of six children, he probably would, probably be further on the spectrum or not um be able to conquer some of the things that he's been able to conquer, which has been pretty awesome because he really loves being around all of his brothers. And I mean, they're exhausting. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm on the spectrum, but they overstimulate me and, I get exhausted. So, anyways, so all of that kind of funny. But, so yeah, what else do I have going on this week? Well, I'm teaching the classes at WSQ next weekend. I like big blooms. I'm teaching an embroidery class. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about that too because I get to sleep in my own bed, which is really exciting when, most of the time when I go to teach somewhere, I am having to travel and stay in a hotel and do that sort of thing. So that's good. And I don't know if you guys saw over the weekend, but I posted a really cute animated video of my holiday homestead panel. And I have another one coming out. It is so adorable. I have a video editing guy who I send all of my stuff to, and he's just really talented. And I said, hey, would you be able to animate any of the elements on this panel? And he said yes. And so if you look at it, I was just it just kind of made me happy to look at it. But he made the tractor blow like little smoke, and it kind of like jiggled a little like it had started, and then the chickens were moving and the antlers on the wreath moved and the star got a little brighter. And so if you want to see something really cute, go look at that. And I have another one to post in the next couple of days as well. So I'm really kind of excited about that. And so Lynn says, I saw the panel post for your new line. I will be buying it. When is it coming out? Yes, the pink chicken I love. I know her name is Rosie. She's one of my chickens. She's obviously she's not pink in real life. She's actually white in real life, but she is really nosy and curious, and she likes to follow me around the yard, and I think it's adorable. But I'm launching it at Fall Market, and I think it delivers in stores in April. So I'll have it, in April. But stores and everything will be having it in April. And then I'll be doing, for one of the patterns, it's called Homestead Patchwork. I'll be doing a Christmas in July sew along. So I'll have all of the videos posted for that on YouTube to go along with that. But of course, and I'll have kits, and I'm hoping that several quilt shops will pick up the kits as well and all of that. But so adorable. I am totally in love with the little panel and the story that it tells. And I'm actually so excited about it too because of the pink trees. I've kind of shared the story, and many who have been following along know that I have a pink Christmas tree in the studio, and I've been kind of itching to go and get it and bring it in and start decorating and having it all done even before Thanksgiving because the tree is just so special and it makes me happy. And so I was thinking about getting it out after I get home from market, and just starting that process because I it just makes me happy. So having it out a little bit longer will be um, good. So there's that. And I still need to finish quilts for my grandsons. One is born, one will be born at the end of November or beginning of December. And so um, my first son, he's the one that's having the baby. His name is Bryce. And my due date with him was December 9th, and he was born on the 22nd of November. And the due date for his baby is the 13th. No, I think I was due on the 13th. So I put the do not disturb thing, and anyway, so anyway, he's hoping that his baby is born um on his birthday, if the baby was, but I think that's a little bit early because I think their due date is theirs is due the 9th, I think. And his due date was the 13th, but I don't know. Anyway, he was born during a really weird ice storm, and I think it just sent my blood pressure crazy. And so he was born, pretty early. But and he was my first baby that I gave birth to. So anyways, and Angela says, "Hi from the UK. You don't look old enough to be a nanny." Well, thank you. But we have 6 kids and they're all grown. So um and my youngest daughter, she just got a cat. She just bought her first, or got a cat. She has an apartment, and so she wanted to get a cat, and because we have her dog when she moved to college. Oh no, did I lose it?